can't speak for Jill, but for me, that shit track that we took in, this has made it all worthwhile. I don't think we're going to be running to the top of those ones, huh?
No, those are intimidating. I think all the other ones we've been on look like baby little ant nests.
Exactly. It is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
The dune raper's been here, left his signature.
Well, we've just done some epic drone footage along the Bilbunya dunes as the sun was setting. We're now heading back up the dune to camp at a designated camp area, and then we'll come back down tomorrow again, do a little bit more footage.
There was a whole bunch of guys on dirt bikes zooming up the biggest sand dune. Some of them were making it, some of them weren't.
It puts Big Red to shame in terms of the size. It's got to be 10 times the size of Big Red. They're massive, at least 5 times the size of Big Red. I'll have to look it up.
In height.
In height, yeah.
It just looks very intimidating.
It does. G'day Jafffa Adventures, Terry King here. I'm with a new mate, Batesy.
Nice to meet you again, Terry.
Nice to meet you, from DACA Tours. And the footage that you guys saw, or that you will have already seen, of the KDMs up on the top of that Bilbunya Dune, the tallest one, Batesy actually runs a tour. And he's got, how many guys you got on the ride today,
We've got
mate?
7 riders today.
7 riders.
Yeah, it's a small team, but they've been tight, and having the small numbers has actually been much more personal. We're loving it.
Yeah, nice. And I noticed they're all on orange bikes. Why'd you choose orange bikes, right?
Oh, we've been riding the orange bike for 20 years,
Yeah, okay.
and we're not mechanics, so we knew where the bolts were, so we just bought what we knew.
So the keep throwing money is
Yeah,
is that a thing?
That's whatever. No, not until they've done 15,000.
Right.
So we've got all 500s. They've got somewhere between 15 and 17,000 on them, and we've only just started throwing money at small things. You know,
Yeah, okay.
countershaft seals, swing arm bearings, but mate, the motors are tough.
Yeah, nice.
2
nice.
valve clearances and 15,000 Ks, so we're
Shit,
stoked.
that's all right.
Yeah, go KDM. Go KDM.
Go the blue bikes.
Come on, KDM.
Yabba!
Sponsorship.
maybe Jill and I might get over here again, fly over and get
Not
on.
maybe, we're having you.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
I can't wait to have the Jafffa boys ride with DACA tours.
Nice. So Maddie and Archie, if you guys are watching this, we're gonna join the DACA boys and we're gonna climb up that Bill Bunya Dune. And remember, I said it was like 5 times the size of Big Red. It is. It's friggin' intimidating.
We're a hidden secret over here, aren't we?
I'm scared already, and the ride's a year off.
I can't wait to see you roost one of our KTMs to the top.
Nice.
And get one of the pictures.
Nice one. Excellent.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Terry.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jill.
Yep, wherever she disappeared to.
She's pumping up the tyres. She's doing your job.
It's the following morning. Jill and I are heading back to the big-ass sand dune in front of us, the Bill Bunya Dune, the big one, and we're going to climb that sucker. We're going to try anyway. It is bloody intimidating. It is huge. For those viewers in Canada or the US or any other country that has a lot of snow, this will kind of look familiar because it really does look like giant snowdrifts. They're that white. They really are that white.
Looks like you could ski down
It does. If you saw a snowmobile in front of us, it wouldn't look out of place.
it. No. Although I have shorts on, and I would not be wearing shorts.
No. There it is, the big sucker. Why did that dune pile up right there when it's dead flat everywhere else? One of the mysteries of the dunal world.
I don't know if anyone's ever said that sentence before in the history of mankind.
It's like driving the low tide line on Fraser Island. It is smooth and flat. We're doing 60 kilometers an hour. Somewhere I read that you can dig like 30 or 40 centimeters down and hit permanent water, and it's good fresh water, and I believe it, seeing this fresh water standing around like this. Which seems real foreign because in Queensland that would be all salt. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God.
Look at the size of this thing.
Oh, I hope I don't sink up to my knees each step, or this is going to be a long way to go. Okay, I'm at the base of the Bill Bunya sand dune, or dunes, I guess. And I'm going to head off and start climbing up, and Terry will come along shortly. And that's intimidating looking. I have no idea how long this is going to take. Oh no, I have to go down, which means farther up. You can see all the motorcycle tracks on there from the DACA guys yesterday. Looks cool. I'm huffing and puffing my way along. It is a long way to go. That's what it looks like the other direction. I haven't even gone anywhere yet, barely. I don't even think I'm halfway up. I can finally see the truck over that ridge. Terry's still at it. There's the coast. I'm huffing. Here's where I gotta get to. Oh, I'm getting closer. Ooh, dying.
It's time to climb this dune. Jill's already made a start on it. You might just be able to see her. She's right about there. Crazy, crazy size of this thing.
Oh my God, I'm nearly at the top. This is beautiful. Terry's still at the truck. I'm gonna do a 360.
Okay, time to take this dune on. Jill is already up at the top. You can see her right up at the point, and that is where I am heading. I don't know whether the camera will pick it, but there are bike tracks all over the face of this sucker where those guys have been playing around. That looks very, very cool. I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to walk around this sea channel towards Jill.
There's Terry, just setting off in front of the truck. Oh, he's going to take a different path than I did. He's going up the spine, and I went up the face.
Look at the colors in the sand and the patterns. Stunning!
There's the truck down towards the right-hand side, and Terry. And over here is what looks like a black hole, right there. Oh, Lord. Might have to go look at that on the way down.
Still going. As you can tell from my labored breathing, it's not easy. You know, I'm not super fit, but I'm not a complete fat you know what?
There's Terry and the truck to give you a sense of scale of how big this is. Back behind Terry, you can see the track that we followed in. There's the big freshwater puddle, and our campsite's back up on the hill in the trees.
Okay, I'm gonna go straight up the face of this big bugger and then walk along that ridge over to Jill. Whew, this is steep. The camera will definitely not pick this, but it's over 30 degrees. It might even be 45. That's hard packed sand and I'm just chewing through it. You gotta get to this place. It is unbelievable. One of the hidden secrets of Australia. Made it to the top of the first one. There's a little valley or playpen the bikes were, and there's Jill up on top of that one. And that's where we're heading. That is a killer climb, but it's so worth it. Woo! Look at that! We're on the top of the world. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. This is a hidden secret of Australia. Of that beautiful June, 3 bloody cans sitting out there from some feral pigs. Like, look at what we've got in front of us here. Pristine, beautiful, untouched, apart from a few tracks which are going to disappear with the next blow. Amazing place, amazing. Goodbye, Bilbunya sand dunes. Epic climb, we loved it. This is a great place.
Well, we just attempted to leave Bilbunya sand dunes, and Terry took a high turn up onto the side of the little baby dune next to us, and he's buried us.
Well, hon, we went down on our leaving, just as we were about to leave, so I'll drop them down, see if we can back out of here. If I can't, we'll have to get the boards out. You'll notice the car isn't down too deep. That's because I got off the throttle as soon as forward momentum stopped.
Terry's doing a bit of digging. Gonna let some air out of the tires. March flies are biting him.
Bloody March flies. Ow! Nailing me at the same time.
The dune raper's been here, left his signature. Is that the walk of shame?
No, that's the walk of success. Big giant scar in the ground. Land Cruiser not in scar.
Dune raper's signature.
You know what though? Shows you that you need the knowledge. You know, if those tires dropped down didn't work, we had the recovery boards to get us out, but we're a long way from nowhere to be unprepared, both with the gear and with the knowledge. Well, we're leaving Bill Bunya Dunes now. We're on a very tight track. I don't know what you'd do if you ever met anybody on this sucker. We are now heading towards Israelite Bay. It's about 100 kilometers away. No idea whether we'll make it. We did do 100 kilometers yesterday on super shit tracks, so it is possible, I guess.
You have a meeting today, though.
True, I do have a meeting. We're gonna have to set up Starlink very shortly so I can dial into that meeting. Good thing I'm retired, hey? This is a very, very tight little track. Up to our right is the Wiley Scarp, which you can't see because of the shrubs. And off to our left is that epic bloody sand dune we climbed this morning, which you can't see because of the shrubs. And on either side of us, immediately, are shrubs. But so far, no rocks on the track, so that is a godsend right there.
We're heading for Israelite Bay on the scrapey track, and we can see the dunes. Oh, a bird. Just pulled up at the side of the road. That's the Wiley Scarp up above us, where we came down those rubber mats.
We are running down the middle of a lake, according to our map. I'd suggest a lake that hasn't seen water in some time. The Bilbunya Dunes are still off to our left, and the Wiley Scarp is still off to our right. And here's a sign. The telegraph poles ahead constitute all that is left of West Australia's first link to the rest of the world. External news took anything up to 3 weeks to reach Perth, and the opening up of this line from Albany to Eucla in 1876 meant that news was same-day event. That's cool. So oh look at the straight ahead, the telegraph poles are dead straight across the lake.
Yeah.
See them going off into the distance?
Yeah. I was too busy looking at what was running, though, to notice the poles.
So these are the ones that we were looking for in the bush yesterday that were all burnt and dead. This obviously hasn't burned since they were put in.
And because there's not enough shrubbery on this side.
Yeah. We are still running along this lake, which has been going now for 20 kilometers maybe? It's a dream run compared to that scrapey, rocky shit that we've been going through. There isn't even any corrugations. Looks like the second pole here still got a bit of wire hanging from it.
Yeah, there's wire all on the ground too.
All of the insulators off of the poles have been long since either souvenired or maybe they reused them. We're done the big lakes, now we're kind of running little micro lakes. And then you go over top of a few dunes and then into the next little micro lake. There's another one of our little micro lakes. You wouldn't want to stray off the track on those suckers. I'd imagine you'd go down pretty quickly. We hit a track junction where you could turn to the left and run along the beach for 50 or so kilometers, or run along this lake. And unfortunately, we are only about an hour off a high tide. So we are going to have to take the lake run. And when we get to these puddles, we are not going off track because have a look at how...
Boy, do they stink.
Ooh, they are stinky.
Oh my God, that's stinky.
Stinky mud.
Ugh. We are not going off track.
No, not going off track because we'll bog to the diffs.
Is that a trailer?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good old box trailer. Dead. It's kind of cool. We drive along in between the lakes through these sort of very shallow or small dune fields. And then we pop out to the lakes and we run along the lake for a little bit and then back into the dune fields. It's quite a pleasant drive, and it's scenic, so much more so than what we were dealing with yesterday. So the run between Israelite Bay and Bill Bunya Dunes, thumbs up.
Once you get through the scratchy bit.
Yeah, a little scratchy bit in the morning. Now, I'm gonna hop out and taste this water, but I reckon this is salt. And the reason I think it's salt is because it's rainwater, but it is on these salt flats. So I think it's dissolved the salt. Yep, that's salt.
I saw you spit from the chili.
That was yucky.
Oh, that's deep.
It is deep, isn't it?
Yes. Keep going. Yikes. Just come to a really weird geological section of the tract Israelite Bay. Those are really hard, those sand protrusions. That's salt water.
Check out these little hummocks, kind of like little stromatolites. They're all embedded with shells. So it was the bottom of an ocean at one point in time, I would have presumed. It is really cool. It's kind of eerie. That's like, that little lake we were just at in big form. That's cool. A little yellow island, eh?
It's like sulfur or something.
It is perfectly round.
That's cool. Is all seashells and those hard termite-like structures. This, I think, used to be the bottom of the ocean, and obviously is like a lake now, a dried lake bed. It's super cool. Have a look, it's just all seashells. All crunched and broken. You can hear me. You can't step without stepping on them.
So as you can see from those clips that Jill just shot, this is solid seashells. This whole lake bed is made up of bivalves, different seashells. Just unreal.
it's full of ant nests now, and those termite moundy hard structures. It's like the bottom of the ocean, uncovered for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure?
For sure. Bit potholey though.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, those are hard as rocks.
Yeah, and those little promontories, I guess if you want to call them that, they're killers. Hard as a rock. It's like these mud puddles have got everybody freaked out about getting bogged, but I don't want to jinx us, but this is so hard packed underfoot and full of traction aids in the form of all those decomposed seashells everywhere. So as long as you don't bog through it or break through it, you're good. And you know, judging by the tracks here, there isn't any areas where you can see somebody's gone down to the diffs. And this track's been here for dozens and dozens and dozens of years. So I don't know why you would want to stray off the track. There's nothing to indicate the tracks are bad, even when they're wet. Oh, there's a little forest of those lumpy things.
Stalagmites.
Yeah, stromatolites.
Stalagmites, I can remember. Stalactites hang from the ceiling.
Yeah, stalagmites from the ground, I think. And stromatolites are those things over here in WA at Shark Bay that are produced by those cyanobacter. I think it's the oldest living form of life on the planet. I'm kind of glad it was high tide actually, because if it was low tide I would have run down the beach and would have missed all this sort of freak show stuff.
The road has turned rocky again. It's a very jiggly, bouncy, uncomfortable ride again. Does that look sandier ahead?
I think it looks rockier.
Oh, goody. I was like, ooh, it's a change in the color of the soil. Yeah, that looks rocky. Not a fan.
What the hell happened to our road?
I don't know. We were driving rock, then it suddenly turned to sand. Now it's turned to red sand.
Red gravel. We're about 5 to 6K away from Israelite Bay. Be pretty cool to check out whether there's old ruins there, the old Telegraph Station, the old jetty. On our map it even says there's a hot water bore. That will be interesting to see whether that still exists. We're doing a short 200 meter run or so, maybe 400 meters out to the jetty, the old Israelite Bay jetty. Ah, there it is. Cool. Well, we made it to Israelite Bay. There's the old jetty, decommissioned years and years and years ago.
A little bit of a swim out to it now.
And here's the Israelite Bay beach, which is like knee deep in seaweed.
And the tide is high. And I'm moving on.
A camel nest. It's pretty cool. Don't know. I like it though. All right, we're gonna drive back off in the same direction we came in and check out Israelite Bay. Find ourselves a camp. What do you have,
Looks
Joe?
like a dog squeak toy.
That's weird. Or a cat fur ball. What are these things? I think that's a sponge. Well, we're driving through the streets of the township of Israelite Bay.
There is no town, and these are not streets.
Batesy, who you met this morning from DACA Tours, provided Jill and I an emu export. The last time I had an emu piss was in 1989, and he assures me that it's got reformulated, and he said put it on ice, and he said if you got a little bit of lemon, put a twist of lemon in there as well. We don't, so I can assure you this is ice cold. So I'm going to try it. All right, Batesy, I've learned never to judge a beer on its first sip, so we'll hold off any judgment until the second sip. Let it cleanse the palate.
I like it.
You know what? That is very drinkable.
I like it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Nope.
All right, Batesy, cheers from Jafffa Adventures.
Cheers.
By the way, we made it to Israelite Bay, and that's where we're sitting right now, possibly burning your wood.
We're not sure, but there was wood here.
Cheers, matey. Hope to catch up with you next year on the bikes. That'd be awesome.
And Terry leaves his mark at the Bill Bunya Dune.